Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk everything animation here, including Miraculous Ladybug, which we'll be getting into right now. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
And April Collins.
Hello.
It's the season 2 finale of Miraculous Ladybug. It's finally here. Mayura, part 2 of Heroes Day. We previously discussed Catalyst and all previous season 2 episodes of Miraculous Ladybug here at the Overly Animated Podcast. Find us at overlyanimated.com or search for Overly Animated Ladybug on iTunes. Subscribe there or on our YouTube at youtube.com/overlyanimated. This episode aired in French in Switzerland once again, and we'll be talking about the original French version of this episode with the Miraculous Subs version. They got this out very quickly. Big thanks to Miraculous Subs. And, yes, we'll be getting into the French dub of this. Make sure you've seen this episode and all previous episodes of Ladybug. But, spoilers of that's why make sure you've seen it. But let's get into this, huge finale. Delaney, what was your reactions to this episode?
This was epic. This was just so good. I really enjoyed it. There's some really, incredible moments between Cat and Ladybug. And it was cool. We got to have everyone fight, and then we had some really cool fight sequences, and then everything went downhill very fast. But I think this episode was amazing, and it's hard to gauge. There was a lot more action than in the first part of the episode, but I thought it all worked out really well. Definitely okay, the Peacock Miraculous is gonna kill you. It's fine. It'll make you sick. Don't use it. Bad stuff. And Marinette kissed Adrian. Oh my god, I almost had a stroke. When she's staring at him, I was like, oh my god, this is it. And then I was just figuring she'd be like, you want to go on a date with me? But then she kissed him, and I was like, oh my god, stroke. And then everyone cheered. That was really great. that was some A+ content. So I just really enjoyed the episode. It was a lot of fun. The plot thickens again somehow. I don't really understand how Hawkmoth escaped. Okay, bud, but it was great. I think we had talked about this before, that they had hinted that Hawkmoth was getting an ally, and now it's the literal end of the season. It was we are kicking things up.
Yes. Very exciting stuff. Okay. Delaney's in. April, what did you think of Mayura?
I thought this episode was incredible. I really enjoy whenever I finish an episode and I have no notes because I was so engrossed in the episode, which totally happened with this. I actually got my husband to watch this episode with me, which was really exciting. Though I was like, do you want to watch the first part? And he's like, no, I'll be into it. And I was like, okay. And then he he really enjoyed saying papillon a lot, and then he was like, is that a giant baby? And I was like, yes.
yes it is.
You don't need context for that. It's fine.
No, you don't.
But no, I thought this episode was great. There was a lot going on, which the show has successfully figured out how to do, because a lot of shows don't know how to put a lot into the episode without it seeming very muddled or crazy or how did this happen. But it was great. And first off, we got to see the peacock, and I was super excited. I was like, who is this? What is taking place? But yeah, and all of the fighting was just amazing. And I have so many questions, but now we know what happened to Adrian's mom and why she's dead.
Maybe, yeah.
No, we figured it out. That's why she's dead. Because the peacock, first off, how do you damage a Miraculous?
Yeah, they're indestructible. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, are they not? Okay, whatever. But no, this episode was great. And okay, Marinette kissed Adrian, and like Delaney, I thought I was gonna have a stroke. And after it took place, I was like, okay, I need to calm down. And so I did a puzzle for 20 minutes.
You did a puzzle?
That is not my go-to soothing activity. Puzzles make me really mad. Props for you. I would be so mad if I did a puzzle.
Yeah, I did a puzzle because I was freaking out. I was like, okay, I need to calm down, and breathe and focus on something that isn't me freaking out. We watched the episode before we went to dinner too, and it hit me in the middle of dinner, and I was like,
you're just vibrating in your seat.
Yeah, I was like, Zach, she kissed him. Like, I can't believe that. And he's like, April, like, we're in the middle of a restaurant. Calm down right now. And I was like, no, we need to discuss this.
I was up really late last night. And so, like, I was talking, like, this morning, I was like, Tanya, I have to tell you everything that happened in this episode. And I don't even think she's watched, like, the first part. And then as soon as I started talking, she's like, who's Gabriel? I'm like, Adrian's dad. And she's like, oh, okay. And I was like, geez.
Gosh, gotta catch up. Okay, so April was so hyped by the Adrianettes that she had to do a puzzle to calm down.
And then almost had a stroke in a restaurant.
Yeah. That's great. This is a great story. Okay. Yeah, Mayura was fantastic. The ending scene was the best part, obviously, as discussed. I was also extremely hyped by the kiss on the cheek, unfortunately, but it was a fantastic scene.
Baby steps for these children.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it was such a great scene. I also really love them in the sewer diving off of the. I expect
with their eyes closed.
Yeah,
oh my god!
I expect that Delaney freaked out over that scene.
And then the scene right before it, where anytime they're like talking, but they're separated by a wall, but they've like de-transformed, I'm about like all the time. Every time it happens, I'm like, yes.
Delaney, there's two moments I expected you to freak out about. One is when they're falling with their eyes closed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And two is when Adrian says, "You're my everyday ladybug" at the end.
And I was like, I'm gonna have a stroke. Like, really that. And he's like super Marinette, and like hearing it in French is like mildly hilarious.
It's like English too. I'm like, you're my everyday ladybug. That's the best line of the show. Okay,
I will say it's frustrating, but I love stuff like that because they like trust each other so much. But it's also like, oh, I'm just gonna shake you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good on all angles. Yeah. The rest of the episode is also really good. It was like very Avengers. We even have the one shot of them all back to back and like in a circle, and then we pan around the circle like straight out of Avengers. There's like a
Drake meme. It's like that Drake meme where he's like he has his hand up and then he puts his hand down. It's like the Avengers with his hands up, and then it's this, and it's his hands down. Like I just saw that meme today. I was like, yes.
Okay, Ladybug over Avengers confirmed. And
yes.
Yeah.
Can we make that the screen cap?
No, we're not doing a meme, the screen cap. No.
I'm gonna show you all the tweet. It's a quality tweet.
Yeah, okay. It's there's a lot of great action stuff. Those are my favorite moments, but there's also some great other moments as well. I think like if you want to say it's disappointing, it's that we were speculating about all these big things that would happen. And essentially we're at there's a version of season 3 that starts in the exact same place as season 2. Like, it's possible that none of this actually affects anything. Like, hopefully the kiss on the cheek, spurs actual Adrian and Marinette romantic interactions, but it might not. Hopefully Natalie getting the Peacock Miraculous has some significance, but it could just go back to normal. Hawkmoth's still our villain. Adrian didn't die. So really this was less huge than I guess we thought it would be. That's not necessarily a bad thing, just considering how good this season was. I'm okay if season 3 is more of the same of season 2, but also we could maybe advance further in the season 3 premiere. Maybe we have another event, in the premiere that gets us to some new place. Certainly, we never made a wish. We talked about making a wish. That's kind of the big thing. It's like it seemed
they
like
that's trash talked each other about the wish. It was very odd. It was just an odd conversation.
Yeah, fake Hawkmoth being controlled by Volpino being controlled by real Hawkmoth to talk to them about the wish. It was So I think it's a great episode. It's a great end to the season. It doesn't feel like such an epic transition for the show. So if that's what you're looking for. Maybe it's not, didn't live up to that, but, I think for what it is, it was really great. Let's dive into the kiss scene at the end first. I think there's two big moments of the episode. One is the ending and one is, Natalie with the peacock. I think the ending is more important. So,
yeah,
of course.
So they're at the picnic, that, Marinette was talking about in part 1, and
it's a potluck.
It's a potluck. Yeah, they all helped her organize it. So that was like the conclusion to Marinette being unprepared to have this picnic. Is they all get together to help organize it, and then Adrian gives this. Well, first of all, Alia like forces.
She was being a homegirl. I was like, yes.
Alia is like the greatest wingman known to man. Like she is like she's like homegirl isn't even like she is like homegirl supreme. Like no one is as supportive as Alia is.
Forces Adrian to sit next to Marinette. By the way, Lila was jealously watching the picnic from her room.
That was good stuff.
Maybe she'll be more of a presence in season 3 since we know she's just been in her room the entire season. just sitting there.
Just being a weirdo.
Yeah, and so Adrian's sitting there. Then he has to go. But before he goes, he gives Marinette this speech about how Marinette's always helping all of them, so they decided to help her. They helped. She helped Julika earlier in part 1. So I didn't understand why that Julika scene was there. It was for this moment. It was another example of Marinette helping people. Helped Mark and Nathaniel get together. Helped Adrian see his mom's movie in Gorzilla. And you're our everyday ladybug. Have a nice evening, Super Marinette.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that was just the episode.
Look, as cheesy as it was, I was totally into it.
Oh no, I was 100% here for it. Like, it was terrible, and I was like, yes!
But also,
and I was like, chase after your boy. Go,
go to him, Marinette.
Go.
And then you like see her work up the courage to go after him, right? And the music playing during the scene is what makes it, I think. It's like the most
for sure.
most sweeping over the top romantic music ever. And it's so good. And then Marinette.
Apparently there's been debate in the fandom. I literally just saw a tweet about it. It was like debate in the fandom about like whether the kiss was romantic or not. And I'm like, children,
okay,
we don't have to have a
ignore
debate
certain people.
Yeah.
This obviously this is romantic.
I'm like, we don't have to have a debate, guys. Like,
We totally know.
I mean, I think what's ambiguous is Adrian's reactions. We can get to that in a second. But Marinette grabs his face and then kisses him on the cheek.
For the record, you don't grab somebody's face when you kiss them on the cheeks. Like,
don't French people like do the cheek kissing thing, right?
But they don't hold the face. Holding the face is what romanticizes it. Like, if she just like went up and gave him just a peck on the cheek, it wouldn't have meant any. I mean, it would have meant the world to me.
Also, the entire class literally stood up and clapped.
Yes,
like,
everyone was like when she went up, and then they cheered after everyone except for Chloe, who was upset, which was great, and she.
The only thing that would have made that scene better is if, like, Adrian, like, they all stood up and started cheering, and then, like, there would have been a moment where Adrian would have, like, turned around and, like, smiled, and I would have been like, yes!
Yeah, Adrian acknowledged the scene. And kiss. Was there any part of you that thought she was gonna kiss him on the lips, either of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
The entire time.
I know.
Actually, like, I thought she was just gonna, like, ask him to, like, go ice skating or something like that.
Yeah, because it was similar to the end of Frozen, yeah.
And then she grabbed his face, and I was like, oh, we're just going for it. Okay.
Yeah, but just despite the only being the cheek, it was still fantastic, obviously.
It was amazing and magical.
Yeah, what do we think of Adrian's reaction to it?
I mean, he's into it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
They're in love with each other.
He said thank you. He's referring to...
Why wouldn't he?
Referring to their dialogue, not to the kiss.
Adrian is such a tease. Can we talk about that for a moment?
Okay.
He is the
Elaborate.
definition of a tease.
Why? Because
he just is.
He just is.
What do you think's going through his mind there?
He's like, yeah, this girl.
Yeah. I mean, we've had previous episodes where it's like he's clearly kind of like developing feelings for Marinette, or like he's just not completely aware of them. Like when Kagami's just literally like, "Can you please figure your life out?"
Yeah, it's I don't know. You'd expect him to. He just treated it like normal. I feel like Well,
I think Adrian does that with anything, and he went home and was like screaming.
Oh, okay, I like that.
He wrote about it in his journal.
Yeah.
Are we going to open next episode him talking to Plag about how
I hope so.
That was a big moment? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm conflicted between Ladybug and Marinette. I'm going to be like, oh boy, guess what?
Right. So that's the question. Is this going to have a noticeable change on the dynamics within the show, which haven't really moved? We've been moving towards Adrian starting to have some sort of feelings, return the feelings to Marinette, and Ladybug starting to return the feelings for Cat Noir. Does this move the needle on the human interactions?
I think it will.
Subtly.
Like, they're more we've seen them become more and more friendly. Like, we went from them like literally Marinette just being a creeper to them actually being friends. So like, I think this is going to be a thing. Yes.
April, what do you think?
I think it's going to move like at the snail's pace that we're going to, because all of like the, I guess,
you mean the pace of the show?
Yeah, the pace of the show. Because it, like, throughout this entire season, we've noticed, like, all of these subtle changes in the way that Marinette, like, interacts with Adrian, how she's become more confident and everything like that. But they're so small and subtle that only we would notice them. But I think it's going to be something along those lines. It's just going to be, like, very, like, tiny little moments, like maybe he accidentally touches her arm or something like that, or who knows? I don't know.
If it just slowly progresses, I'm going to be unsatisfied with it. I feel like after this, Marinette could ask him out, and it would be expected, right? Like this is an easy precursor to them actually dating, I think. So, I've been pushing this all season. I really need them to date in while still not having the identities revealed. I feel like you can do so much before the identity reveal, which we're not expecting to come for a long time now. And, like just have them date as Marinette and Adrian. Like that would be a great season 3 if we just went
do
through
it, you
season 3
cowards.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Do it.
Like if this ends up being the precursor, like in the season 3 premiere, then she asks him out, and then actually like they go on a date, and then slowly start actually dating throughout the season. Like that would be fantastic. I'd be so in for that season. If it was just season 2 plus sometimes Mayura, and also with them dating as humans, like that would be great. My worry is that we'll just get more of season 2. But it's not that much of a worry because season 2 is great. Yeah, I don't know. It was just like, this was such a good ending scene to the season. Let's do something with it. And I kind of think they will. I kind of think we'll do something, with this. Yeah, regardless, I think this is like, this and some of the highlights of like the balcony scene and, the rooftop scene from earlier in the season. I think these are some of my favorite scenes of the show, with the two of them. So like this is, I feel like it really culminates and makes the episode and, all-time great Ladybug scene here.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And April, did you finish the puzzle?
No.
Okay. Okay. Well,
it's still sitting on my
much like our
table.
Desires for the Adrian and Marinette, it is unfinished.
It lays unfinished in a scramble of pieces in a box.
April will not finish the puzzle. She vows to never finish it until they go on a date, right?
Oh no!
You have to keep it there on the table as a symbol.
Finishing this puzzle.
It's gonna sit there for like 3 years.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that's when season 3 will premiere, right? In 3 years. Okay,
yeah,
so
basically.
we'll talk about the end. Okay.
You mean that's when season 4 will premiere? We're gonna skip over 3.
Oh, that's also possible. Yeah. Okay. So. We'll talk about that. Okay, let's talk about Natalie taking the Peacock Miraculous. So basically, Hawkmoth ends up trapped, and she puts on the Peacock. She says, "I'm Mayura." She charges up a feather, and she blows this feather out, and it goes into Hawkmoth's cane, and Hawkmoth gets the purple version of the light eye mask thing that happens when he's controlling someone. And he's may your despair embody itself in the shape of a protector. And we get this giant moth or butterfly that blows them, like Marinette and allies, away. And
for the record, moths and butterflies do not have stingers.
What do you think this was? You think it was a bee then? A bee-moth
well, no,
combination?
It was literally a moth that had a stinger.
Yeah. We're debating the Discord what the animal this was. Yeah, it's not clear. It was because there's no moth symbolism in the French version, so it was interesting.
Because he's not a moth.
Yeah, he's a butterfly. It's more like a moth than a butterfly.
Those Americans, they can't accept a man he's the butterfly.
Yeah, basically. That's basically it. And then Natalie purposefully gets rid of the illusion and the feather, and it's like she unakumatizes whatever version that is with the feather, and then Hawkmoth escapes. So, Delaney, what was your reaction to Natalie taking on the Peacock Miraculous? Were you expecting this? What did you like about this?
Oh, I was not expecting this at all. Also, like, Gabriel does not deserve this ride or die. Like, he does not. Like, Natalie is like, I mean, come on. Like, she's in love with you, bro. And, like, she will literally die for you. Can you please stop? Like, you don't deserve her. No, like, I was not, like, when she, like, runs off and, like, I have no idea what's going on. And then she grabs it. I'm like, oh, God. I was also just not anticipating, like, it's very interesting. Like, I like the balance to it. You have the butterfly, and you can, people who are angry, like it's negative emotion. But what's interesting is that specific it's like, it's kind of based in anger, not necessarily like being sad as much as like, cause that's what you have. Now we have the peacock, and it's like depression, it's grief.
Yeah, she says despair. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting that we have these, because now we have this and it's a protector, like instead of like you becoming something, like there's a protector. So like, I mean, I just thought all that was really interesting, and it's an interesting like balance to bring into the show, because now we don't just have the power of creation, the power of destruction. We have this also. So it's interesting. So I'm curious if there's maybe like a really happy one or something, maybe. But I mean, there's so many Miraculouses. Like they had to have run out of ideas somewhere. But it was incredible. Like it was really powerful. Like, I mean, when she transforms and then you have like, it's just really powerful. And especially when she starts talking and he's like, no. And I just thought it was really powerful. I mean, obviously it's really confusing because you don't understand what's going on, because we're like, what the heck does the peacock do? And of course that entire time, Kat and everybody's like, what's going on? I don't understand. But I mean, I really liked it. And I mean, again, Natalie, like, Gabriel does not deserve Natalie at all.
We love Gabriel though.
We do, because he sucks.
Because he sucks.
Because he sucks.
True. Yeah, April, what was your reaction to all this?
So whenever they showed like the little peacock thing, I was like, wait a second, that's the peacock miraculous.
Yeah, right. Like it's like Tanya calls it my podcast voice. Like I'll like discover information while I'm watching the show, and I'll say something out loud, and she's like, really, did you have to do that right now?
That's me. Yeah. But no, I was just like, oh my gosh, because haven't we always been led to believe that the Peacock Miraculous was just lost or like something along those lines? And then I was like, oh my gosh, there it is. Gabriel's had it this whole time. Like, because we've speculated that Emily had the Peacock Miraculous at one point in time. But yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, Natalie's going to be, or not. Yeah, I was like, Natalie's going to be the Peacock. This is going to be great. Like, we're going to get this. This is happening. Because this season has been all about like, here are all the different Miraculouses and the Kwamis and all of this stuff. But I really liked the design of the how do you say her name? Mayura?
Mayura.
Mayura.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna forget that.
We'll see what she is in English, because this is just the
well,
French
I wonder
one.
if that's the Kwami's name, because like no one gets an actual name.
Yeah, we don't know the Kwami's name. She says, I am Mayura, so presumably that's right. But we won't really know until like it happens twice, like what the rules are. Yeah.
But I was really into her design. Like I liked that she had like the sort of same like purple, like dark look that Hawkmoth has. And then she has like the feather.
She's like flowy.
Yeah, she's very like flowy, and it like her skirt or dress or whatever like resembled like peacock feathers. I thought that was really great. And she's just very like, I don't know, she seemed very like calm. I don't if that makes kind of sense. Whereas like Hawkmoth is very like, ha, I've got you. But I don't know. Maybe I'm still like confused as to what her power is. I don't know. Because she has the feathers and she like transformed it, and then she said the whole thing about despair, but hasn't Hawkmoth before like used people, like he just used negative emotions, not necessarily
it's also like if they're anger or sad. But
yeah,
generally focused on when they're angry, but no, he has akumatized people who are sad. So like it's interesting that this isn't just like a negative feeling of sadness, like this is like legit like grief.
Yeah. But it's, what is it? The thing that got me the most was whenever, like, he realized that Natalie was the peacock, and he goes, like, oh, no, not this way. I was like, oh, you kind of care. Like, that's sweet, you know? Like,
does he, though? Does he?
Maybe.
He seems, at least he's putting on a show of caring about Natalie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Innocent until proven guilty, or whatever.
Yeah, Hawkmoth definitely not guilty. Yeah, Gabriel, he's a pure innocent child, as we know.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
I like the interpretation that it's like a distinct type of negative emotion. That being said, I think the surface level view of what's happening with this power, and granted, we do not know what is really happening. We don't know the rules of this. I think probably my service level is that it's the same as Hawkmoth, negative emotion into transforming into like mind controlling someone, but this is negative emotion into manifesting their negative emotion as a thing. So I would say it could just be the same thing as his. And the other factor is that this isn't what these Miraculouses are supposed to do.
Right,
they're supposed to do something positive. So it's still unclear to me like what the what what either of these are intended to do, if it's just supposed to be the same with positive emotion for some other thing. So, unclear, but just, despair embodying itself in like a thing. Like, is it always going to be the same thing? What are the rules of the thing? Like, she specifically takes it all away, but is it the same thing where it would stay until Marinette, like, de-evilized it? Can you de-evilize the feathers? Like,
it kind of seemed to de-evilize itself almost.
Yeah, the implication was she de-evilized it. She took it away. Like, we saw recently that Hawkmoth with Lila is able to unakumatize her on his own. Or she gave it up or something. Yeah. So Mayura, like, got rid of it herself. So, like, is that the expectation, or did she only do that because she knew that it was dangerous and she wanted to get out of it as quickly as possible? Or is this how it always works? Yeah, there's a lot we don't know about that, but at the very least, taking some sort of negative emotion and putting it into I guess it wasn't just an illusion because it was tangible, some sort of thing that was there. Yeah. And
like, it created that gust or whatever that blew everyone back.
Yeah, I think Marinette yo-yos onto it. I think it really is there. So that could be pretty cool. Interested to see if this is season 3 is like her instead of Hawkmoth most of the time putting things out there. This was a one-time thing, or it'll be a combination. Sometimes.
I mean, I think especially. I mean, Gabriel's reaction at the end. I mean, I doubt she'll do it again unless, like, something else happens. Because, it clearly, like, hurt her.
Yeah.
And Gabriel was like, you can't do that. Like, you can't do that again. So I wonder if there's, like, it's kind of like a ticking time bomb. Like, how many times she can do it before she ends up like Emily.
Yeah, unclear how sick she is. She seems sick at the end. Is she just going to die? Like, if even only using it once? Does she have to use it more than once?
Is it poisoned? Is it, like, what's
So we'll see on that, but Natalie does seem sick at the end. You guys are referring to the implication that this is how Adrian's mom died, because if she was the Peacock Miraculous holder and it was damaged, then that's how she could have gotten sick and died. I don't think the episode is clear about that at all, but it is certainly a potential implication from that. Yeah.
Well, I think, didn't we? I feel like we knew that there was something wrong with the Peacock Miraculous.
We got into a little bit earlier in the season. It's like he's not using it and it's there. I don't know if we knew there's something wrong with it.
But, I do think, it makes the most sense. Generally the show does kind of like, it either spoon feeds us things or it literally doesn't tell us anything. And this is, like, surprisingly a happy middle. So I feel like...
surprisingly.
That's true.
So I feel like, I think it's like a fair... Like, it makes the most sense. And I think it would also make sense that she's probably not actually dead. Like, she's in, like, some sort of containment, but not necessarily, like, in a coffin. Like, she's in that little glass whatever, and I think she, like... I think I had said this before. Like, I think she's probably, like, in some sort of coma or some sort of, like, whatever the Kwame equivalent is of, like, a coma.
But... that kind of makes you, like, if it's a Kwame equivalent of a coma, then wouldn't she still have the miraculous on her?
No, I meant, like, whatever the damage has been done.
Like, the damage has been done, that's it.
Yeah, like, the damage has been done, like, whatever, like, to me, it's probably more of a mental thing than a physical thing. Like, maybe she's trapped in that special Kwame world.
Ooh. I like that, yeah.
What did anyone else notice how, like, Gabriel kind of seemed to be in the same type of pain as Natalie after, like, he was, I don't know, peacock feathered?
Maybe that affected him too, because he was affected by the peacock.
Yeah, because like I didn't think anything of it like on my first watch, but on my second watch I was just like, wait, like he's sort of like clutching himself in the way that Natalie was after he like de-transformed and everything. So I was just like, maybe like that's also like an like a negative side effect of the peacock miraculous being damaged.
Like if it because it would make sense like if like. It kind of makes sense in, like, when you get akumatized. Like, let's say Ladybug got akumatized, like, it would, like, kind of poison the Lucky Charm.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that the ability is, like, it could hurt whoever's using it.
Or whoever gets affected by
possible,
it.
Yeah.
Or even maybe because he is, like, he is, like, has a Kwame, like, whatever, like, that could also be, it could also because of that, like, because they're both, like, miraculous.
Yeah,
Miraculous.
possible. I'm watching the scene again. I don't really see anything in terms of him.
Well, I know. Well, he's like limping, and it's hard to tell because he's old and he just fought children.
I think he's just carrying her, and he puts his arm across his chest, but I think it's just to like take a.
Well,
take a knee.
No, I'm talking about like on when he's on.
Oh, like all the way back
tower.
there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
When
I
he's
assume it was just because he was
escaping?
fighting them.
That's what I was thinking. He was limping because he's an old man. But by that same token, though, like he's still miraculous, and he shouldn't feel pain like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, he is. He does seem hurt after that.
So I mean, I think that's a fair like.
Nuru's like, "Are you okay?" So,
But then that would also, what is it? Like that would cause like if we're going back to like Gabriel just being selfish, then that would be like his reasoning for being like, "Oh no, not this way," because
that would make sense because it would hurt him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that could be a thing. That's interesting to look for. So there's a lot of questions basically we have about the Peacock Miraculous setting out of this episode.
Oh, I remember something else. Is the line where Hawkmoth says like, "You guys are like don't even know the true extent of your powers. Like you still have to rely on
yes, that's another thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was well because I mean we've seen him use his powers and he stays Hawkmothed. So
Hawkmothed. Yeah.
Hawkmothed.
Yeah, he says you guys are inexperienced, incapable of staying transformed after you've used your powers. Yeah.
Season 3?
Yeah, so maybe they can learn to... The problem with this implication, maybe they can learn to stay transformed, is that this will take us further away from the identity reveal. Like, there's no chance of it accidentally happening.
They found their loophole.
Well,
they're like, you guys, we figured it out.
Well, I don't know, because either would it be something Master Fu would have to tell them, or would it have to be like, they have to have a talk with their Kwame? So that's what I'm curious about.
What if they have to talk with Hawkmoth to learn about it?
Oh, God. But if they have to talk to, like, my thing is, like, if they have to talk to Master Fu, that could be a thing. Like, that could maybe lead to an identity reveal. We need
to talk to only Gabriel knows the true secrets of the Miraculouses, the dark secrets that Master Fu won't tell them. So we need Dark Marinette arc where she gets trained by Gabriel. That's what I want now.
So you want Teen Titans Slade
he takes her under his wing.
It's Star. Yeah, no,
shut up. Goodbye.
It's Star with Eclipsa basically is what I want here. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there's some interesting lines. Let's talk about other parts of the episode. The most notable to me is the sewer scenes where they are talking on the other sides of the wall, and they de-transform and talk to each other normally on different sides of the wall. Delaney, my frustration here was that they're literally de-transformed talking to each other, so there's no voice obfuscation.
They're so dumb.
They really should recognize each other's voices.
Yes, they should. They're literally so dumb.
There's no explanation for why they wouldn't realize who they are at this point. They talked to each other before too, but this was the most blatant one. That was frustrating. They speculate he boosted his power. They still don't know about Catalyst, by the way. At the end of this, they never learned about her. Yeah. And
they kind of like they're a little suspicious because they said did he figure out a way to amplify his powers or something? So they might figure it out.
Yeah, and they say he's an ally at the end, so they're aware of someone working with him. That's the plot advancement. But and then some of the villains are coming after them, and they jump off the like sewer waterfall and close their eyes while they're. It
was a beautiful scene, and I really loved it because like I like how much they trust each other, but it's also like I hate you.
I freaked out a little bit because I'm like, what? They're going to see each other. Oh, they closed their eyes. That's so stupid. Like,
I was like, oh my God. And then it was like, oh. It was beautifully animated, though.
It was very beautifully animated, but I was like, "Oh my gosh, look at how much they trust each other."
I know, they're so cute. I love them.
And then they instantly transform into the aqua versions of themselves, and then they're swimming, but they don't. Yeah, and then they make it up in time when Ferris is being freezed. And then they de-transform into the normal versions of themselves. This happens, that and with Hawkmoth too. I didn't know if you can de-transform, it's like a layer on top of the normal transform into the special power up, and then you can go back into the normal one. That's what they do.
It was great.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
And
I will say, I freaked out for a moment when they were both like, like de-transform. And I was like, what are you guys doing? No.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
That's not how I want the identity reveal.
That's how I want it. No, but it's
I there's not even a how. I just want it to happen. Like, I don't care how it happens.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. But yeah, that was like, what's going on? But because that was not established that was a rule. You could just de-transform one layer. So why don't you just power up on top of power up on top of power up, and then you can like de-transform into the different power ups, and then
de-transformations.
You can't just waste your candy.
Why don't you just bake more? Why can't we just make more macaroons? Like, I don't.
I'm sure we can. Like,
she clearly had a backup of the Aqua one, so I don't know. Yeah. And after that, I like this moment of Marinette showing the world that the real Ladybug is back, and she releases all of the butterflies that she de-evilized earlier. Yeah, and then it's on camera. I thought that was a great Marinette moment.
It was so good.
Yeah,
so sweet.
Another big part of the episode is the Parisians helping out with Ladybug and Cat.
Okay, and they have the they literally freeze it, and they're like, "Look, we're Les Miserables," and I'm like, "This is annoying."
They
like,
literally do an exact shot of Les Miserables. Yeah,
I was like, "Really?"
I was dead. I was like, "We're doing this, really?" Like, but I guess it's the point of Heroes Day is that everyone is a hero.
Yeah. I love that part. It was just the Les Miserables shot that I was like, "No."
Yeah. We have to do every French reference, and again, Eiffel Tower was extremely prominent in this episode. And they're fighting. They're fighting on the Eiffel Tower, and the end shot is with the Eiffel Tower once again.
I mean, what's the point of being in Paris if the Eiffel Tower isn't in the episode every episode?
I mean, clearly that is their thought process. We're very, very sure about that. But yeah, what do we think, Delaney? What do you think of all of the citizens helping out?
I mean, I liked it. It was really cute, and like I always love stuff like that. Like there's an episode of Supergirl where the people all protect her. Like I love stuff like that. Like I think it's really it's great, and it's it's really it's something that's really like powerful in like the whole superhero mythos and all that. So I really enjoyed it, but like the Les Miserables scene just irritated me to no end. I was like, did you really just do that? But I also really loved it that it was Alia's sister because she's great, and like any excuse to use her because she's ridiculous is like, and like I loved how like I think even better than like when they were was in like you have the montage. There's like the helicopters and they like trap the baby, they like trick the baby, and then they like all of that stuff. I really loved it. Like, and it's also like they pay attention, like they know like. Everyone knows when something happens because they're like they have the stupid Akumatize alarm.
So they know all the secrets of these villains.
Yeah, they know everything.
Yeah, I think it was Alia's mom and Marinette's aunt, grandma again.
Yeah, no, her grandma. Yeah. No, that was a great cameo. I was not anticipating. I was like, yes, it's the grandmother.
Yeah, back.
What is she doing back in town?
Who cares?
Yeah, it's true. She can't. Yeah, good point.
It felt like one of those like. I had like a moment where I was like, oh, this is almost where it's like the forced like we have to bring everyone that we've ever seen before into the episode kind of situation.
Yeah. I think that's the premise of the special. Yeah, all the heroes are back, all the villains. Yeah, and all the cameos, kind of an end to this first era of Ladybug, although it didn't move the needle that much, so maybe it's not the end of the first era. But at the very least, we had prominent stormy weather. You had Oris and all of these early type villains were
that I totally forgot about.
Yeah. The Dark Cupid plays a big role here. It's confusing because they all have different names in English and French. So it was like, but this was Dark Cupid was the one shooting all the arrows. That was a big season 1 villain. In general, Delaney, did you like seeing everyone? Was there anyone you're most particularly excited to see?
No.
I like seeing Aurora, the first.
Oh
one.
Yeah, she was great.
I appreciate that the way that they made the music villains useful was that they played a rocking riff and that was it. Like they did nothing except play music.
We got the baby again. That was a big one. They were the giants. He says, "Go, my giants!" And it's the robot. We got the giant robot. We got the ice cream the guy. Yeah, so
quality stuff.
All of our classics were back. Yeah, getting back to the stuff on top of Eiffel Tower.
Oh, and we saw the mime. I was like, really?
Okay,
you are not who I would pick.
You're like, Hawkmoth, you can choose better, because he doesn't choose
like
everyone.
Hawkmoth out of everyone. Like, I mean, I understand he couldn't have Lady Wi-Fi, but like, still.
Yeah, that shouldn't have been a clue to him who that is. The Lady Wi-Fi didn't appear.
He's like, my plan is foiled. There's no Lady.
Okay, can we talk about how like everyone he akumatizes the heroes, and then everyone has like, I'm Queen Wasp.
Yes. Okay, let's
I'm
get
Rena Rage.
into that part.
Hero. Who thought that was a good idea?
Rena Rage, Kara Worse, and Queen Wasp. Yeah.
I thought the Rena Rage one was pretty good. Like,
I think it's Dash. They know Carapace is a dumb name.
Well, yeah, we need to see how that's done in English, because that was the literal. Maybe it makes more sense in French with a pun or something, but yeah, that was good. And he's using the Dark Cupid to create negative emotions and then akumatize them, and he like re-akumatizes everyone too. Pretty well thought out, I think, by Hawkmoth. He's manipulating his own stupid rules that surround that Miraculous.
I really enjoyed that. What is it like? Queen Bee was like, I never let my emotions get the best of me, and he's like, ha ha ha, I know you better than that, Chloe. Like,
I specifically akumatized 3 people to get to you. Yeah.
Oh, that was okay. Okay, you asked me if I was excited to see anyone. I was not excited to see the scary teddy bear. I was like, no.
What? He's so good. He's the butler. He's I remember you not liking him, actually. So
I also appreciated that it was Batty Bear. Instead of
he's Despair Bear in English, but yeah, they all have different names in French and English.
Despair Bear is literally like the scariest thing I've ever had to watch. I'm not about it.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, he akumatizes those 3, the parents and then the butler, just to get to Chloe, because that's the consequence, Chloe, of screaming about who you are.
Yeah, this is what
happened. Right. Also, I'm really happy that he included the butler as part of the bourgeoisie family. He's like, I'll get the entire bourgeoisie family to get to Chloe, and the butler happened to be a part of it. I was like, oh, that's a nice moment, I guess.
Yeah, it was good. He was good here. I'm gonna go back to the Eiffel Tower because we talked about most of this already, but I want to go back to the Eiffel Tower, most said phrase, and Ladybug, where they're battling the illusion Hawkmoth with Vulpina, and they're talking about what's your wish? Why don't you guys make a wish? That was like the extent of the wish culmination stuff we got, which makes you think that it's going to be not drag out that much longer.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to be like a thing.
Yeah. And they're battling purple-edged Papillon, and then he de-transforms into normal Papillon. And then we get these incredible action shots of them battling normal Hawkmoth, and he's punching them. He's punching the children. It's fantastic.
You literally punched your son.
Yes.
You're literally the worst.
Yes, King. Punch your son like
King
that.
Hawkmoth. Also, I was offended when he was like, you're going to see what happens whenever you face someone who has nothing left to live for. And I was like, what about your son? Did you forget Adrian existed?
Yes, frequently he does. A lot.
Frequently he does. This is true.
But then he has moments where he's like, no, not my son. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
First off, you gave away your identity.
I gotta say, I was impressed with Hawkmoth's fighting abilities. I did not think he had hand-to-hand combat tactic skills.
For a man who has spent his last year just inside of his house,
standing, looking out a window.
That's all he does. All he ever does is stand there. And he was in the underappreciated. This was the first time we've ever seen Hawkmoth in the fray here fighting, and
it was great.
he seems stronger than them. Where does he work?
Well,
I guess he just works out.
No, I think remember, we have to remember that they give them their abilities.
Yeah, I guess he also has
well, and he's more experienced. It would make sense if he's unlocked the full potential of his Kwame.
So I want to talk about that experience, because what did he do stuff before?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yes, that's what I want to know.
And then I'm like, does he not? Then I'm like, who gave him the Miraculous if it wasn't Master Fu? If he's the last guardian,
he stole it from Master Fu. But we know
Lady Emily doing with the Miraculous.
Right, that's what I don't understand.
That's
what I don't understand about Emily having the peacock, is that it's only been a year that Ladybug and Cat Noir have been doing stuff. So and we've never heard of Emily and the peacock in Paris, no one's talked about. It's like, where were they when she was she was sending out feathers? Like, which was that? That's what makes me skeptical. That was a thing. Wouldn't we have heard of this? Wouldn't this be a part of?
Well, I feel like it
common
didn't happen in Paris. Like, I feel like
maybe they're terrorizing another city.
maybe
they weren't terrorizing it though. Maybe like before all of this, like they were doing good
I got
things
the
in the world.
That Hawkmoth is the reason Master Fu's the last Guardian.
Possible, yeah. It's possible they were using it for good until Emily got poisoned by it, and now Hawkmoth uses it for bad.
They came to that realization that it was like being damaged, or maybe they like at some point came to the realization that the Peacock Miraculous was like killing Emily, and then Hawkmoth in a fit of rage was like, "Tell me how to fix this," and they're like, "No, fam, give it back," and he's like, "No, I'll destroy you all." Like, I can just see him being that dramatic.
That's the other thing I don't understand either, is like he gave them to Marinette and Kat, and then they're like, we had to bring them all back. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, I don't know.
just in general, that why do they have to bring them back after this one? Because they do return all of them, so we're back to the status.
And I understand that it's like, one, they were only called upon in certain moments, but not like it doesn't make like at this point. I don't know. It's interesting.
I think I agree with that. Like, why wouldn't he just be like, I think it might be best if you let them keep them. You know what I mean? Kind of situation, because there's clear. Also, we never like. Marinette didn't talk to Master Fu about the fact that there's like essentially 2 villains now. And so I feel like if she had done that, then Master Fu would have been like, you know what, maybe y'all should hang on to these.
Also,
like,
so, they're like, you have to keep your identity secret. I mean, we are 3 out of 5 right now. And like, guys, granted, everyone knows Chloe and only.
Yeah, only the 4 of them know the other 2, but
yeah, I'm curious how like Alia and Nino's relationship is going to change now that they know that like who they are, kind of situation. Like, do you think we'll see any of that?
I mean, you mean Evil Child will change Nino because Alia knew the entire time because she's
Alia knew the entire time. Yeah, someone asked me if all of season 2 made me ship Nino and Alia more, and I. No.
It made me hate it less, but it didn't make me like it more.
Yes.
Yeah, I still am not particularly positive, but it's more of a neutral now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like it's okay.
I get mad because like them being together, they have these moments that I want Marinette and Adrian to have. And I'm like, you're wasting these on like Nino.
We'll get it. Also,
you were taking away valuable Alia and Marinette time. Right?
Yeah, I mean, really, they have not had that much screen time, so it's not that big of a deal. That which is the problem, and why it's so it's like that. That's why in the first place we didn't really like them, just because it was literally one episode,
so, and they're like, here we go.
Whatever. Okay.
There are a couple. Didn't you guys know that? And we're like, no.
Yeah. Other question I got was someone speculating that the Butterfly Miraculous is also corrupted if the Peacock is corrupted because Gabriel fluctuates in behavior. So maybe him misusing the Miraculous makes it corrupted. So maybe he's going to get sick too.
Oh,
maybe he's running out of time.
Yeah, I mean, possible. We haven't really seen too many signs of that, but I don't really understand what the corruption is, how it got there. Like, these are supposed to be indestructible except for Cataclysm. Like,
what if now, because of the Peacock Miraculous, now the Butterfly one is corrupted? Kind of like a disease that spreads.
Maybe they're a pair, yeah. It's possible. We don't really know anything. The answer is maybe to any question involving any of this.
Who
I
knows?
Don't know. We'll see. Let's quickly to the beginning of the episode, which I haven't talked much about. They're like all together on the rooftop, and they say they have to defeat Hawkmoth, not any of these other people. And one observation I had this episode was that they very quickly defeat many villains in a short amount of time. And makes you wonder why they can't do that in normal episodes so quickly.
Yes.
It takes like 10 minutes to defeat one villain, whereas they defeat 10 villains in 10 minutes here. Probably more than that.
I think the difference, though, is because they knew, like, because all of these people, like, transformed into villains that they've already faced. So my interpretation...
They already know where it is.
Yeah, they already knew exactly what to kind of target. Like, they knew exactly to, like, go for like that necklace, go for, the sword, go for like these specific items. And then I think it made it more difficult whenever like they all got reakumatized, but they were all like on the buttons or things like that. Like, I don't know. It just seemed like that's how I guess kind of figure. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's a pro that Hawkmoth knows what they are, so he can utilize them in smart ways, like with Dark Cupid. But it's also a con that they can defeat them faster. Yeah. It was cool though, seeing them go tear through all of them. Obviously, they also had 3 allies too, so that's a big reason why they're able to get to them so quickly.
I was gonna say I also liked how I guess that sort of action sequence like flowed very nicely. Like I can always it didn't seem forced. Like we went from like, okay, we took care of this akumatized person, and then we flowed into like taking care of this next one, and that helped us like take care of this next person. Like I like whenever those sort of action sequences flow together versus like being very like jarred, like, okay, we took care of this person, now we're going to cut to taking care of this person type of situation. They all kind of like work together instead of like individual scenes.
Yeah, I thought it was a really well put together. The first third of the episode, like pure action, thought it was really well put together. Really great stuff. That being said, I am much more interested in the other parts of the episode than those fighting parts. But it was cool. And like I don't want the show to turn into an Avengers type thing, but having like 2 episodes of it was really nice, I think.
I don't think we'll get it.
No, I don't think so. Other brief things: 2 lucky charms, one for a tennis racket, one for a ring box. Neither utilized in the episode. You could speculate what the tennis racket was for. We never really learn. She says she needed all of them.
It out.
And what was the ring box for? Was it like, what was the clue? Was it that was it a sign that the peacock was going to be used? Like,
no. So I kind of took it in like 2 ways. So the first time I took it as like the very like flat interpretation that Marinette had, where like, you have to give us the miraculous, like your miraculous Hawkmoth or Purple Edge Pavilion, whatever. She took it very like, this is you, like this is a sign that you're going to give us what, like your miraculous kind of thing. But I didn't necessarily take it that way the second time around. I was just like, maybe like Marinette's interpretation of the miraculous holder box is wrong. And maybe it was supposed to be kind of a sign like, maybe you have to give your miraculous up, like... Maybe you need to.
I don't know. Or maybe there's some thing she had a Rube Goldberg machine she had to do with it. But yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know what it was weird. The tennis racket, all we get of it is game, set, and match Ladybug from Hawkmoth. So
we need to take advantage of that tennis racket.
Game, set, and match Ladybug. Yeah, it was great. Also we got a glory to Purple Edged Papillon earlier from all the villains. Like
they're cheering in the streets.
It was fantastic. Also, another great Hawkmoth line: "A rain of purple-edged Akumas are coming for you."
It was like a storm.
Yeah, and he re-akumatized everyone. But Alia takes the arrow for Nino. By the way, we forgot to mention that.
Very romantic, also stupid.
Yeah, you're more useful than him. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, exactly. For real. Like,
actually, to be fair, I don't know if she did that much, but
I felt, you know what? I guess I'm gonna like hate myself for saying this, but I feel like he was much more useful in this battle than she was. Like she didn't use any of like her illusion powers or anything.
Yeah, she doesn't. Yeah, he uses the Captain America shield to deflect something, and then later it's Cap Peter. Yeah, he was Avengers. He was literally Captain America.
He is literally Captain America.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah, so that's the most blatant one. Yep, and I think that's mostly what I got here. We had some Andre being funny with he's gonna supervise Paris from the helicopter.
Yeah.
We had this line from Kat. Do you have any miraculous ideas, my lady? He says.
And
I think that's what I got. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. Anything else, Delaney, or final thoughts on Mayura here?
I really enjoyed the episode, and I am really happy with where the show is, and I'm curious to like. I don't know if like we're gonna get more plot or if it's more like we're gonna keep kind of doing what we've done in season 2, which I mean it hasn't been bad. Like I've enjoyed it. We've had really great episodes, so we'll just have to see. Also, we're gonna wait like 25 years for this for season 3, so that's fine.
Yes, April. Final thoughts.
It was another great episode. Even though no one died, I still really enjoyed it. I'm glad Adrian's not dead.
Even though no one died.
Even though no one died. Because that's what, like, I don't know. It sounds terrible, but I was like, I want Adrian to die so bad.
Wow.
Well, because it's one of those things where like you can't kind of come back from that.
The drama. It's okay.
It's okay. But you can't like come back from that, and that would have been like a huge leap for the show to take. And I mean, it's fine that they didn't take it. I'm happy with where we are and where we continue to go. So I guess we'll see everyone in 25 years. It's fine.
Yeah. Great finale with Mayura. I'd have it ranked third for the season, just ahead of Catalyst. Which that's good though. And since we're here at the end, we'll hopefully have more Ladybug podcasts in between seasons. I mean, certainly if it's like March of next year, we'll have some in between. Maybe we can like review overall season 2 and speculate for season 3. But been building this hot take for a while with the show, and I think like we've got successive runs of great episodes at the end here. So I think I'm ready to put Ladybug firmly in this like second tier of animated shows. Like the top tier, you got Steven Universe, Rick and Morty, BoJack Horseman. And then you this next year with the Voltrons and Mr. Khan's Craig of the Creek. I think Ladybug's right there this year. Like, I think this is a legitimately very good show now. I have it like number 6 overall on the year. Like, that's considering this is like not a thing. Season 1, we were like, okay, this is like not even
this isn't a show.
Like, number 6 show of the year right now for me. And I think it's been really fantastic in season 2, really consistently good, just so fun and aware of itself. It's just really been a really fun show to watch, way like a different experience than the other shows we cover, and I think it's legitimately very good. Could be great if we like even step it up more. And yeah, this is like legitimately great, very good critical like lens television now. Very exciting for Ladybug. And I feel like there's a legitimate case for it getting nominated for our show of the year at the end of the year. Like, I think it's right there. So that's very exciting watching the show go into there in season 2. So I think in that regard, season 2 like a huge success for Ladybug, and I think with just some slightly more serialization like we got at the end with the B arc, and some more advancement, I guess, moving further away from this rigid formula we've been in. I think this could be like a great show. So I'm very excited to see where we go in season 3. We know that seasons 2 and 3 were written together, and that they're very far into production on season 3. It's possible that it would premiere this year, but I assume that ZAG will make the correct decision to hold off on it until, even if they have even if they have like 2 episodes done, you don't do what happened to see, just wait, let them build up a little bit, because clearly we have trouble finishing these. So like wait until March or April and just let us air consistently.
Yeah. I would not be upset if they like waited until March or April. April might be pushing it, but because I feel like season 2 went on. Yes, first off, but I like it's better to have like a little bit more of consistency, because I felt like season 2 went on for like 2 years. So even though it was maybe 1 year? No.
Yeah, it was a little over a year, I think, for when season 1 aired. And that's still a long time though. Like 26 episodes extended over the course of longer than a year. The Collector aired on October 21st, 2017, and this is airing in November. Yeah. So it is a little over a year here. That not the ideal conditions. If it was like specifically 2 a month or something and we knew exactly when it was airing, that'd be fine. But these were like the last bunch was grouped together, and then we had months without any episodes. So it's like guessing which country it's going to air in is not particularly fun. As much fun to make fun of it, but I don't know. I still don't understand why they aired this. They aired the finale they let the finale air in Switzerland instead of France. I really don't understand that. That's interesting. Like, it's not even the English version. It's just the same French version. But I don't know. So, but it's going to air in Tefou in a few weeks too. So the France will be done with season 2, and we'll be seeing when season 3 is. I wouldn't think of it like the length break for between 2 separate seasons, because I think really this is like one giant season, seasons 2 and 3. So shouldn't the reason it would take a long time was because they wouldn't want to have the same thing happen with season 2, which I think would be smart.
Yeah.
So, and we also know nothing about season 3, so it's very exciting. We've kind of always known that we're leading to this Mayura part. We got spoiled on these 2 episodes a long time ago, and who knows what's going to be coming with season 3. We don't know any episode titles.
We don't have any episode titles, but they did reveal that, like, what is it, like 4 or 5 episodes into season 3, it's going to get really sad. So
I mean,
Great.
they say a lot of things. I don't like. I want.
I'm gonna choose to believe them.
Also,
Yeah,
I think it depends on which episodes they show because, like, do we ever get the show in order?
Nope.
Yeah, that's true. Also, was not in order. One reason people thought Adrian was going to die is because there's some season 3 poster they showed that he was not on, so they're like, oh no, he's dead. So that was like also fueling speculation, and so that's still in play. I think that's like look for the season 3 premiere. Maybe he could be dying in the season 3 premiere. But obviously, he'd come back.
Oh my
quickly.
gosh, I would actually have a stroke. I'd have to do all the puzzles.
Just then you could complete the puzzle, or
Yes.
just start a second puzzle, maybe. But yeah, the season 2 premiere we learned Hawkmoth is Gabriel, so there could be a big event happening in season 2 premiere. We'll see. We'll see. So yes, let us know what you thought of this episode, Mayura, and season 2 thoughts at our YouTube comments, youtube.com/overlyanimated, overlyanimated.com. Click on the article. Could suggest off-season podcast topics for Ladybug. These are popular podcasts for us, so I'd be interested in doing some roundtable type things. With like looking back at season 2, speculating to season 3, these types of topics. But it's dependent on when season 3 airs, we'll see. And talk about it with us on our Discord, discord.com, overlyanimated.com/discord. Support us via Patreon, patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to all of our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Kathleen, and thanks as always to our patron executive producers, John Ryan, Steve, Alex, and Hugh. Check out our other Ladybug podcasts if you haven't seen those, and we also have other stuff at overlyanimated.com, including Ruby Volume 6 coverage. We have Castlevania, Craig of the Creek, and DuckTales, other stuff coming up as well, some anime discussion. Find all that at overlyanimated.com. So yeah, we'll be back whenever we get to some sort of Ladybug roundtable, or maybe season 3 will premiere sooner than we expected. But thanks for listening throughout season 2, guys. A lot of great support from the comments and stuff. You all are positive and fantastic. All positive comments and reviews. Continue leaving us reviews on our Ladybug iTunes feed. Those have been great. So thank you if you've done that. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.